and a warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Hushain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Light rail transit project to be implemented with a new outlook. BOI brings another international company offering more job opportunities. News in detail. Taking another step to assure the normalcy in the country after quarantine lockdown situations, authorities allowed the reopening of all cinema halls from the 27th of this month. In the meantime, 23 positive COVID-19 cases have been identified yesterday. A total of 23 positive cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed yesterday. All these patients were identified among the returnees from abroad last few days. Thus, 19 returnees from Dubai, 2 returnees from Qatar, 1 from London and another one from Russia have contracted the virus yesterday. Meanwhile, one more COVID-19 patient has been identified as of 5 p.m. today. Moreover, 2 more individuals who completed their quarantine period at the quarantine center established at Kalpitia left for their homes yesterday. After successful completion of the quarantine process, they were sent out from the quarantine center by following advice of health authorities. The quarantine certificate that authenticates the successful completion of quarantine process was also handed over to them by the Navy. Furthermore, total number of coronavirus recoveries from the Navy has surpassed 750. In the meantime, 1,446 persons have recovered from the virus as of 1 p.m. today. Subsequently, another group of Sri Lankans in Australia has been repatriated to Sri Lanka early this morning. A special flight belonging to the national carrier Sri Lankan Airlines landed at the Bandaranaike International Airport with 98 Sri Lankans aboard. Chairman of Colombo Stock Exchange, Ray Abeyewardene, is confident that Sri Lanka as a nation can emerge stronger and better post-COVID-19 crisis. Speaking exclusively to our television's BIS Roundup special interview, which will be aired at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow, CSU Chairman Ray Abeyewardene explained how we can convert the COVID-19 crisis into a blessing.
Whilst we are saddened by what has transpired, the deaths,
Yes.
the fact that it's still continuing, so we are not, we are very, we are concerned and we are sad and we are hoping that this will go away as mysteriously as it came, that it will go. So that's our fervent prayer. But some of the key learnings from a corporate aspect is that you've seen we've gone online for meetings, we've digitalized, digitalization has happened, online purchasing is happening, online meetings are happening. We're saving a lot of time on the roads. We're not traveling, or most of the time we travel 1 hour for a 1 hour meeting. We've got to travel 1 hour back. So that's 2 hours on the road for an hour's meeting. So now we are having more and more Zooms. We're having team meetings and Google Meets. And so that's a new thing that we probably have realized during the COVID periods. I'm sure it will get carried forward. So that's a positive that is taken. Again, as a nation, we have shown our resilience and our ability to overcome. We can see as the market has reopened, we've seen turnovers rising. The index is up 711 points within the last 5 weeks of trading, which is very good. And I'm sure we'll come out stronger and a better nation post the COVID.
Former Minister Patli Champika Ranawaka says that the decision by the present government to stop the light rail transit project and going for a flyover project will drive the country for another trap of foreign debts. Former Minister Ranawaka made these observations joining with the Art Television's public space program last night.
ලංකාව කියන්නේ කුඩා රටක් ජනගනත්වයේ වැඩි රටක් 1948 වෙනකොට ලංකාවේ මෝටර රථ කියන ඒවා විවිධ ආකාරයේ මෝටර උපකරණ ට්‍රැක්ටර්ද ලොරිද ඔක්කොම තිබුණේ 5000යි. නමුත් පසුගිය වසර වෙනකොට ඒක 80 ලක්ෂය දක්වා ඉහළ නැගලා තියෙනවා අපේ vehicle fleet එක. ඒකෙන් පාවිච්චි වෙන ඇත්තේ ලක්ෂ 50ක් පමණ වෙන්නේ නැති. නමුත් මේක මේ රටට දරා ගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණයක් නම් නෙවෙයි. මොකද සිංගප්පූරු වගේ අපිට වඩා 15 ගුණයක් ධනවත් රටකත් හැම පුද්ගලයෝ 100ටම 15යි වාහන තියෙනවා. අපේ තියෙනවා 35ක්. ඒක නිසා අපි ප්‍රතිපත්තිමය වෙනසක් යොදනවා. එහි එක පියවරක් හැටියට අපි බස් ප්‍රමුඛතා මන්ත්‍රීව අඳුන්ලා දීලා එහි දෙවනි පියවර හැටියට ඒ බස් ප්‍රවාහනය සඳහා අලුතෙන් බස් ඇණියට තවත් සුපෝපභෝගී ඒ කියන්නේ ලෝ ෆ්ලෝ බස් 2000ක් ඇති කර ගැනීමට කටයුතු කළා. ඒ වගේම ඒවා නතර කර ගැනීම සඳහා බහුවිධ ප්‍රවාහන මධ්‍යස්ථාන ඉදිකිරීම කටයුතු ආරම්භ කළා. මාකුඹුරේ පළවෙනි ආදර්ශය ඇති කළා. කඩවත එක ඊළඟට ඉදි කරගෙන ගියා. තුන්වෙනිව 18 කණුවේ ඉදි කර ගැනීම සඳහා කටයුතු යෙදුණා. ඊළඟ උපාය මාර්ගය වුණේ දුම්රිය පද්ධතිය වැඩි කිරීම. අලුත් ව්‍යාපෘතියක් හැටියට අපි ප්‍රධාන කොරිඩෝ 4ක් යා කරමින් සහල්ලු දුම්රිය සේවාවක් ඇති කර ගැනීම සඳහා යෝජනාවලියක් සංකල්පයක් ඉදිරිපත් කළා. ඒ සංකල්පය සඳහා සක්ෂතා අධ්‍යයනයක් කළා, පරිසර අධ්‍යයනයක් කළා. ඒ සංකල්පය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට ගියාම මනුෂ්‍යයන්ට ඒ ජීවත් වෙන කලාපයේ මිනිසුන්ට ඇති වෙන බලපෑම් පිළිබඳ සමාජ අධ්‍යයනයක් කළා. කරලා උපදේශන සභාවක් ගෙනල්ලා ණය අස්සම් කරලා ඉදිකිරීම් කටයුතු ආරම්භ කරා අපි අවුරුදු 3ක් ඇතුළත. නමුත් මේ රජය ආවට පස්සේ 100.1 පොලිය 100.1 පොලියට ජපානයේ නැමැති හිතමිත්‍ර රාජ්‍යයේ ජපානයේ නැමැති තාක්ෂණයෙන් ඉහළ රාජ්‍යයේ ඒ තාක්ෂණික යන්ත්‍රෝපකරණ භාවිතා කරලා කරන මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය අත්හිටවල.
However, Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, clarifying on the matter this morning, said that the government decided to stop the LRT project as its cost is not bearable to the country. He assured that the project will recommence soon according to a new methodology which assures a low-cost plan. Minister Gunawardena also assures that the media will be briefed on the reasons for the suspension of the project at a media briefing next Monday by the relevant government officials. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. HCL Technologies, mostly known as HCL, one of the leading global technology companies, announced the commencement of its operations in Sri Lanka and pledges to create over 1,500 new local employment opportunities for both freshers and experienced professionals within the first 18 months of kick-starting its operations in Colombo. Chairman of the Board of Investment, Susantha Ratnayaka, also joined the press briefing online and said that he is hopeful HCL will be able to create employment opportunities as planned.
We are going to position Sri Lanka as a destination for IT services. We have some plans for Sri Lanka, which I want to announce as part of this media interaction. We are looking at about 5,000 people to be deployed in 3 to 5 years, of which you will find that around 1,500 employees will start working in Sri Lanka in the next 18 months. I'm very confident to say that we'll be able to move in this path because, my team out there, I have Totatri, who has joined me on this call as well. He's the country head for HCL in Sri Lanka. And, we have already, spoken to over 1,000 aspiring professionals who want to join HCL. And we find that, they are highly qualified and very relevant to do the job.
We are extremely happy and delighted that HCL has come to Sri Lanka. And we are very, very excited about the aggressive plans that you have to create well-paid jobs in the knowledge sector. And this would also broaden the horizons of our young people. They get to work in a international company with best-in-class systems and processes. This would really be a plus for them in their future development.
A new set of forecasts from the Asian Development Bank states that the developing Asia will barely grow in 2020 by 0.1% as containment measures to address the coronavirus disease pandemic hamper economic activity and weaken external demand. The Asian Development Outlook 2020, released in April, forecasts 0.1% growth for the developing Asia region in 2020. This is down from the 2.2% forecast in April and would be the slowest growth for the region since 1961. Growth in 2021 is expected to rise to 6.2% as forecast in April. ADB chief economist Yasuyuki Sawada added that there is a higher growth outlook for the region in 2021, mainly due to weak numbers this year, and this will not be a V-shaped recovery, and that government should undertake policy measures to reduce the negative impact of COVID-19 and ensure that no further waves of outbreaks occur. Hit hard by COVID-19, South Asia is forecast to contract by 3% in 2020 compared to 4.1% growth predicted in April. The report says that Sri Lanka's GDP is expected to grow by 2.2% in 2020 and 3.5% in 2021. First Capital Holdings states that the trading in stock markets saw mixed reactions this week as the all-share price index continued its negative momentum from the previous week and reversed to positive sentiment from Wednesday. Research head at First Capital Holdings, Dimantha Matthew, speaking exclusively to Art Television, added that buying interest of banks have escalated with the reduction of the statutory reserve ratio.
The market showed some mixed reaction this week as the market started off with a negative outlook, and then towards the middle of the week we saw some positive momentum in the market. So the benchmark index ASPI became negative, especially on Monday, and then continuing the momentum from the previous week. However, on Tuesday, the index reversed to positive sentiment with parcel trades in commercial bank and HNB, which boosted turnover for the session. On Wednesday, the bourse ended again in the positive territory for the second consecutive trading session on the back of a SRR cut that we saw on the previous day. The SRR cut was expected to boost banks' liquidity, benefit in the banking sector tremendously. So with that unexpected higher profitability, we saw a significant activity among the banking sector and a lot of buying interest, especially among the local parties, where we saw strong buying interest on the banks. Then afterwards, we saw on Thursday the market again being in the green with higher banking volumes, with the banking sector, if you take, contributing about 25% of the turnover. Nearly 2 weeks with parcel trades in the commercial bank, and which boosted turnover by about 12%. The market also witnessed foreign outflows during the week. The overall foreign participation remained high, but mostly onto the selling side.
Speaking further, research head of First Capital Holdings, Dimantha Matthew, noted that the current positive momentum in the CSC trading will continue in the coming week as local investors will engage in the buying side with the decline in interest rates.
If you take the upcoming week, we feel that there could be a lot more buying interest from the local parties, especially because of the declining interest rates. So with the lower interest rates that are there, so equity market is likely to be considered as a alternative investment instrument by most investors. So with that, we feel that there could be more interest on the stock market, especially on the retail front and the high net worth front. However, if you take the foreign front, we feel that the foreign outflows that is already there in the market is likely to continue in the upcoming week as well, because considering the uncertainties that is there in the global market, that is leading the emerging market outflow that is there. So we don't think that Sri Lanka will be any different, and that will be that the outflow is likely to affect Sri Lanka as well. So with that, the foreign outflow is likely to continue in the upcoming week as well. However, the outflow is likely to be mostly absorbed by the local strong buying interest that is there in the market. And so with that, we see that there could be a gradual upward movement in the market as well, with the higher local buying interest that is there. Turnover levels, we feel that turnover levels will continue to be on the high side, similar to the last week as well.
Stay tuned for stock updates. Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 13.44 points to close at 4,990.42, and the S&P SL20 gained 16.02 points to close at 2,156.53. The turnover was 1 billion rupees and over 31 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. with BIS Roundup Special Edition. Until then, take care. Good night.